Hello and welcome to Burning Down the House with Jacob. That's me, I'm Jacob. Now I know that we have not done a video in quite some time. Actually, the last video that we put up on the channel was when I gave you guys the recipe for chicken noodle soup, and that was back at the beginning of November.
It's been 84 years.
So you're probably wondering what we've been doing. Well, I mean, with food prices going up, we've had a hard time, just feeding ourselves, and, we've been wanting to do, more videos. This is the first time since November, really, that we've had the money to actually do anything. So today, I thought that we would, switch gears just a little tiny bit. And instead of doing like a regular dish, like we usually do something that you could cook and do for like dinner or a meal like that, this time today I'm going to show you how to make cheesecake.
Thank you for being.
Alrighty, now let's get into our ingredients, what we need to do this. So of course you're going to need 4 packages, 8 ounce of cream cheese, hence the name, cheesecake. You're going to need 4 large eggs. You're going to need 1 cup of white granulated sugar. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And if you know how to make a graham cracker crust from scratch, feel free. I can do it, I just prefer not to because, hey, I'm a little lazy. But just a regular graham cracker crust that goes in the oven and is, bakes right along with your cheesecake, that does the same job. Now I do have some smaller graham cracker crust cups, smaller than, of course, the big cheesecake. The reason that I have these is because it usually turns out every time that I end up with extra filling, and all I can really do with it is kind of bake it alongside the cheesecake and have like extra cheesecake stuff. And it's fine and all, but it kind of makes me kind of feel like an oinker, so I can do that, and we can have extra little cheesecake treats. Okay, and for this recipe you will need your electric mixer, because doing this by hand you can, but you can also beat yourself over the head with a stick and it's gonna hurt. Kind of the same concept. So using an electric mixer is so much easier. And of course you're going to need a big mixing bowl, because you're going to have all this stuff in here and you need a big bowl. Now first you want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. Alright, and now we're ready to start putting together our mix for the cheesecake. Of course, you got your 4 packages of cream cheese, and you have 1 cup of sugar, which goes in here. Now you have 4 eggs. Put those in there like so. And you will need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just a teaspoon. That's all you need. And you are going to be just like my grandma, because this is how she did it. And once you get started, you just need to make sure that this is all very well blended.
Don't drop it.
Because you are going to go from there to pouring it into the pie crust, and from there into the oven. So here we go. Oh, and you want to blend it on medium to start with. Now, when you get it mixed down to about to this point where it's really smooth and looking like pudding, you want to scrape this part off of the sides of the bowl, which I kind of already did a little bit because I was like forgetting I was filming. And then get it off your spoon and then mix it for about maybe another 30 seconds or so just to get that little part mixed in and everything going really well. And then after that, you're ready to pour it into your pie crust. Alrighty, and now we're up to the big important step of pouring everything into the pie crust and then putting it in the oven. So basically, you have your pie crust. If you're using a pre-made pie crust like these, you just want to leave the metal part up. So just if by some strange chance you get any kind of rising around the edges that you really shouldn't get, you know, this will be a little bit, not a whole lot of help, but a little bit of help. So just make sure that you leave that sticking up. And I have the little ones over here, which I will put over here after I get this one done, because this is the main one that you're worried about. So what you're going to do is you're going to get this poured into the center, and it's going to come out about like a big pudding. I keep using those words, but it's actually true. And then when you get enough in here, you just want to spread it around, even it out. I hope I'm not blocking the shot.
No, you're doing fine.
Not much.
You don't want it to...
Yeah, just to even it out a little bit. I think that will be good for that one. Now, for the little ones, the little ones don't need a whole lot, just basically spoonful should do them pretty good. Maybe a tad more. Just a little. And that's good for that one. And I'm going to move this one over here to this side. This one over here so you guys can see it. And put that in there like so. And that's good. And we have one more. Put that there. Right there. Now, like I said, at the beginning, you preheat to 325, so our oven is ready. So we put these in on the middle shelf. And you will want a cheesecake to be in the oven at 325 for 45 to 55 minutes. And so we will set a timer because we have the 3 extra small ones. We will set a timer for it to be a little closer to 55. I usually run it at 50, but for the extra 3 that are in there, we're going to run it at 55. And after 55 minutes are up, then we will come back and we will have cheesecake goodness.
Later.
We are down now to 5 minutes, which means they have been in there in the oven for 50 minutes total. The little ones already have color on them and everything, and because I don't want this to, be overdone, I'm going to go ahead and pull them now. And if you're wondering about the little separation here, sometimes that happens. It can depend on the way that your oven is. Some convection ovens will cook a little more evenly. Sometimes they don't. Like we have an electric oven, with one heating element on the bottom and a smaller one on the top. Being in the middle, it gets all the heat from the bottom and not a whole lot from the top. But it did make the little ones turn out really nicely. So this does have to cool off because there's no way you can bite into it being this hot, and it does take a couple of hours for them to really cool down really nicely. Michael is going to be home in about an hour or so. So hopefully by then the little ones might be ready for him to take a taste of, and if they are, yay. But otherwise, we'll wait a couple hours and then we will film that when we're ready for it. I do want to tell everyone, Dustin and I have talked about it a lot. We do realize that the episode that we did before the most recent episode, when I did the the bacon cheeseburger loaf, it didn't turn out quite the way that we had wanted it to. I have gone over the video myself a couple of times and kind of realized where my mistakes are, and we do want to redo that video so that you are able to take the recipe really how it should be, because I think the mistakes I made, a lot of it was because I hadn't made it in so long, because I haven't made that recipe probably in over 10 years. And I was trying to do it from memory because I really don't have it written down anywhere. But I mean, you make mistakes. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes sometimes. But we have been talking about it, and we have decided we are going to redo that at some time in the future. So look for that. So as soon as Michael gets home, we'll see if one of these is ready, and we'll film his tasting of it. So we'll see you in a little bit.
Later.
Hello, and we're back, and the cheesecake has cooled, and Michael made it home, so kind of right on time. So now Michael is my taste tester as always.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Absolutely delicious. Okay.
So there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to put them in the comments under the video. And I hope you enjoyed it, and you know, wait for us next time. We're not real sure what we're doing next, but we'll do something. Thanks.